Okay, so I thought I would do a couple of review videos. This one is reviewing slope using rise over run. And remember that slope is the steepness of a line. We call that slope. We're going to circle the line with the biggest slope. So we want to know which one is the steepest. When we want to know what the biggest is, we're looking for which one is the steepest. This one, not so much, a little bit more, and this one. So this one is the steepest. It has the biggest slope. The letter we use for slope is a lowercase m, and it comes from the French word monter, which means to move or to climb or rise. When given the graph of a line, we need to know one simple definition of slope. Rise over run. Slope is the ratio of a line's vertical change to its horizontal change. Okay, and that's what we mean by rise over run. Rise. You have to lift your foot before you can go up a stair, right? You gotta lift up and then move it over just before you step down. And so that's why we call it rise over run. Think of it as steps. So we can mark any points on a line. So they gave us a graph, and it has this line that's going through, and every place that the line is going through the little corners of the graph, we're going to put a point. So there's a point. Okay, just like so. You really only need two, but you can mark as many as you want. So you're going to start from the first or the bottom. And we're going to find the rise. It can also be called fall, because if you're going to go downstairs, you have to go down before you can put your foot. So up is positive, and down is negative. We're going to find the run, and the run will always, when we run, we usually run to the right. So we're going to rise 1, because it's on the same line with this dot. So we rise 1, and we run 1, 2. So we rose 1, and we ran 2. Let's see if it continues. Rise 1, 1, 2, ran 2. Rise 1, run 2. Rise 1, run 2. Okay? So our slope of this line is 1/2. Later in the lesson, we'll be using slope, a formula to find slope. We will also get fractions that will need to be reduced. It's always best to reduce your ratio when you're working with slope. So when we did this one, we have found that it was 1/2. You can't reduce 1/2. It's as small as it goes. But if I had gone up 2 and over 4, I would get 2/4. And I notice that these are both even and divisible by 2. So if I divide them both by 2, I get 1/2. So again, my slope is 1/2. If I had gone up 3 and over 6, I get 3/6. Both are divisible by 3. And it would be a slope of 1/2. Same if I'd gone up 4 and over 8, both divisible by 4, and I would get 1/2. Let's find the slope of the following lines. So if I have one here, and I have one here. So in this case, if I go up, I'm not following the line, am I? But if I go down, I can go down 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go down 3. Because I went down, it's a -3. And then I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I went right, it's a positive. So my slope is -3/4, which is the same thing as -3/4. Look at our second one. I have a point here. And it looks like I have a point here. So if I go up, if I start here and I can go up, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I went up, so it's positive 4. And then I went right 1. So I went up 4 and right 1. And I know I can simplify 4 over 1 is the same as just 4. Look at our next one. A point here and a point here. So I'm going to go up 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Can I simplify 2/3? No, that is a simplified already. I see a point here and a point here. So if I go up, I'm not going to find a line, so I'm going to go down 1 over 1. So I get negative 1 over 1. And when I look at negative 1 over 1, I know I can simplify that down to just negative 1. I have a point here, a point here, and a point here. I can pick any of these points. Can't go up. If I can go down, so 1, 2, so negative 2. And then over 1, negative 2 over 1. It's the same as negative 2. Last graph, I go up 1, and then to the right 1, 2, 3. So can I simplify 1 over 3? No. So my slope is 1/3. If you have any questions, oh wait, I think we have one more page. All right. There are 4 types of slope as we travel left to right. So pick a point. And as we are traveling left to right across, what does the line seem to do? It goes up. And so this is a positive slope. As we travel left to right, the slope seems to be going down. And this is a negative slope. This one has no steepness. It's just going straight across left to right. And what this is called is a zero slope. There's no rise to it. This one goes straight up and down. It's so steep we can't call it a slope because we can't count it because it goes continuously. And so this is called an undefined slope. Okay. Zero slope is where the rise is 0 over however many numbers you need it to be. Undefined would look like if I had a rise of 3, it would be divided by 0. You can't divide anything by 0, so that's what undefined would look like. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.